Welcome to CBC Training Module 4, Covering Systems. In this module, we'll take a closer look at one of the most important parts of a metal building, the exterior covering. We'll walk through what these systems do, how they're made, and why they matter. We'll also talk about the materials, the structure that supports them, how it all comes together, and how we finish it off. Thanks for joining us. Let's get started. Let's start with an overview of what we'll be covering in this module. A covering system includes all the parts that make up the outside of the building: the roof, the walls, the fasteners, the sealants, and the trim. Some of these are visible, and some are behind the scenes, but they all work together to protect the structure and make it look great. In this module, we'll talk about 6 key areas. First, we'll introduce the concept of covering systems. Next, we'll go over how they perform. Then we'll break down the basic materials used for roof and wall panels. We'll look at the structural support behind those materials and how they're joined and fastened together. And finally, we'll cover trim and flashing, the finishing touches that seal and complete the system. Let's take a closer look. Every day, more people are surprised to learn that some of the most attractive and functional buildings around them are actually factory-engineered metal structures. Why is that? Because many still picture metal buildings as plain corrugated sheds you hide in the backyard. The reality is, modern metal buildings are smart, durable, and great-looking, and they belong front and center. A big part of your job is educating the market. People need to understand, these aren't just metal buildings. They're engineered solutions. They're reliable, cost-effective, and look great, too. When you change that perception, you move your projects from the backyard to front yard status. There's a common belief out there that industrial or commercial buildings must have huge concrete walls to hold up the roof or to keep out the heat and cold. But that's just not true anymore. With CBC's engineered framing and panel systems, we can meet those needs and do it with style, speed, and cost savings. A covering system is more than just a roof and walls. While the structural frame resists live loads, dead loads, and wind loads, the covering system protects the building and its contents from rain, snow, heat, ice, and cold. But here's the thing. The first and most lasting impression of a building usually comes from how it looks. And that means the covering system matters a lot, both functionally and visually. Let's break down what makes a covering system truly perform. A great system should be attractive in appearance, protect from the elements, provide structural stability, handle expansion and contraction, insulate against heat and cold, control moisture and condensation, reduce sound transmission, resist fire, be economical to own and maintain, and allow for easy installation of accessories. Each of these can benefit the building owner in different ways. Let's start with appearance. Most customers place high value on how their building looks, especially in commercial or community spaces. The covering system, whether wall or roof, is the face of the building. It's the first thing people see, and it reflects the image of whoever owns or occupies the space. That's why, in many selling situations, appearance is the customer's top concern. Water is one of the most common causes of maintenance problems in buildings. It can come as snow, ice, or wind-driven rain, and it only takes a tiny opening to cause big issues. That's why the panels, fasteners, sealants, and flashing must all work together as one system to prevent leaks, avoid rot and corrosion, and protect the building from the inside out. The covering system is also the first line of defense against outside forces. Roof panels must be strong enough to support their own weight, plus live loads like snow and ice. They also need to resist wind uplift. Wall panels, while not load-bearing, still need to stand up to wind pressure and daily abuse. CBC wall systems are designed as curtain walls, which means they don't support the roof, but they're still critical for structural strength. Temperature changes can have a big impact on metal panels. In many areas, surfaces can swing from 10 degrees below zero to over 140 degrees above. A good covering system is designed to handle that kind of movement, with joints and panel shapes that absorb the stress, without bending, breaking, or distorting. Insulation plays a big role in comfort, efficiency, and building performance. Good insulation helps control indoor temperature, reduce heating and cooling costs, and improve overall energy performance. CBC panels are designed to work with modern insulation systems so the building stays comfortable and code compliant all year long. Moisture is a hidden threat in any building. If not controlled, it can lead to mold, mildew, rust, and ruined insulation. That's why a good covering system uses vapor barriers, quality sealants, and proper design to reduce condensation and move moisture away from the structure. Metal panels alone don't block sound. But when combined with the right insulation and acoustic design, they can help reduce noise from outside. That means less distraction from traffic, machinery, or weather, and a more comfortable interior space. Fire safety is a serious concern for any structure. Metal panels are naturally fire-resistant. They don't burn, and they don't contribute to flame spread. When paired with fire-rated insulation and sealed properly around openings, CBC systems help meet strict fire codes and improve overall safety. Some covering systems look inexpensive up front, but cost more over time. A CBC system is built to last. That means fewer repairs, less maintenance, and more value over the life of the building. It's not just about the purchase price, it's about what you save in the long run. Accessories like doors, windows, and vents shouldn't be a hassle. A good covering system makes installation quick and clean. And if the layout needs to change down the road, you want flexibility to adjust without cutting into profits or performance. CBC panels are built for strength and versatility. Most roof and wall panels are formed from 26 or 24 gauge steel. Standing seam panels are 24 gauge as a minimum. Panel finishes include Galvalume Plus, Signature 200, and Signature 300, giving your customers both durability and design flexibility. Let's take a closer look at the parts that make up a complete covering system. It's easy to think of just the roof or the wall, but those are only part of the picture. Most systems also include insulation, fasteners, sealants, and trim. That's why we refer to it as a system, because all these parts work together. The 5 main components are structural framing and support, basic covering material, insulation, joining and fastening, and finishes, trim and flashing. Let's take a look at each one. A covering system gets its strength from 2 places: the structural frame and the covering material itself. CBC roofs are supported by purlins and eave struts. Walls may hang from the frame, rest on the foundation, or do both, connecting to base angles, girts, and rake trim. Panel strength also comes from configuration, the profile or shape of the panel. CBC's most common panels include the PBR, PBU, AVP, RR, and RU styles. CBC panels begin as high-quality steel coil stock, which goes through a detailed cleaning and coating process. Signature 200 and Signature 300 finishes are roller-applied, baked, and bonded, giving great durability and long-lasting appearance. A 30-year finish warranty covers issues like fading, chalking, or peeling. Translucent panels are also available. They can reduce the need for artificial lighting and add architectural appeal to the building. Insulation helps control the flow of heat. Good insulators are light and fluffy, like fiberglass or foam, and work by trapping still air. CBC insulation comes in 3-inch, 4-inch, or 6-inch thicknesses with a white vinyl backing. CBC also offers translucent wall panels that act like skylights, called sky belts, which let in natural light and lower lighting costs. All parts of the covering system need to be joined and fastened properly. That means using side and end laps, sealed with tape, foam, or mastic sealants. CBC uses self-drilling screws for most applications and electric seamers to secure standing seam roofs. The fewer joints there are, the fewer chances for leaks or failure. Trim and flashing finish the job. They seal corners, roof-to-wall transitions, and panel ends, keeping water out and improving the overall look. CBC custom fabricates trim and flashing for a clean, tight, and professional appearance. In this module, we covered a lot of ground. We talked about what a covering system is and why it's critical to both performance and appearance. We went through 10 key features that impact quality and the 5 main components that make it all work together. With this understanding, you're better prepared to help customers make informed choices about their metal building solutions. Nice work. Let's see what you remember with a quick review. Now let's take a moment to review what we've learned. This short quiz will help you check your understanding and reinforce the key takeaways from Module 3. Covering systems. Let's get started. Question 1. What is the main reason we refer to it as a covering system instead of just a roof or a wall? A. It sounds more technical. B. It includes doors and windows. C. It's easier to sell that way. D. It includes multiple parts working together. E. None of the above. The correct answer is D. A covering system includes multiple components that work together, such as panels, fasteners, insulation, and flashing. Which of the following is not one of the 10 key performance features of a covering system? A. Fire resistance. B. Moisture control. C. Flexibility and tenant use. D. Sound control. E. Insulation. The correct answer is C. Flexibility and tenant use is not part of the 10 core performance features. Question 3. Which component provides support to the covering system and transfers loads down to the foundation? Panel profile. B. Fasteners. C. Structural framing and support. D. Trim. E. Roof panel overlap. The correct answer is C. Structural framing supports the roof and walls and transfers load to the base. Question 4. What is one benefit of panel profile, also known as configuration? A. Reduces heat gain. B. Adds visual weight. C. Increases structural strength. D. Protects against pests. The correct answer is C. The profile increases strength and improves performance. Question 5. What type of fastener is used to connect roof panels at the side lap? A. Self-drilling screw. B. Stitch screw. C. Lap bolt. D. Hex screw. The correct answer is B. Stitch screws are used to fasten roof panels at the side lap connection. What is the main purpose of flashing in a covering system? A. Improve interior layout. B. Connect structural members. C. Direct water away from joints. D. Secure insulation to framing. The correct answer is C. Flashing helps guide water away from joints and prevents leaks. CBC insulation is commonly available in what thicknesses? A. 2, 4, and 8 inches. B. 3, 4, and 6 inches. C. 1, 3, and 5 inches. D. 4, 6, and 10 inches. The correct answer is B. CBC offers insulation in 3-inch, 4-inch, and 6-inch thicknesses. Congratulations! You've completed Module 3. Thanks for taking the time to build your knowledge of CBC covering systems. We hope you feel more confident in your ability to communicate their value. Great job, and we'll see you in the next module.